Today, I want to explain to you about how do we create a class and object in Java. And after explaining to you about classes and objects, I wanted to you explain to you about some of the concepts in Java, like information hiding, encapsulation, and if time permits, in this video itself, I want to cover to you about concept called as method overloading. So let us try to cover these concepts in this video. So while writing and explaining programs, with that, let me explain to you about these concepts, class, object, and all those. Let me explain to you by sharing my screen and typing the program. So let us see over here. So let us see uh, what is, first of all, a class. So let me tell you what is a class. So, so what is a class? A class is nothing but combination of data and methods is called as a class. Then what is a object? Object is instance of class is called as object. So let me create one class and explain to you how a class looks like and how can we create objects for that class. So let me explain to you. So let me take one class called as room. Uh, for a room, what we can calculate? For a room, we can calculate area. And for a room, what is the data that you have? For a room, I will have length and breadth. So let me take it. So for room, I will take two types of data, two variables. That is my data. That is nothing but length. And the second variable in my class is breadth. So these two come under the data part of my class. Then I will have one constructor in my class and the constructor name and class name will be the same. And I will use the constructor to supply values to my length and breadth, the two data variables which I am having inside my class. So I will use the value L to supply value to my length variable and I will use the variable parameter B to give value to the breadth variable of my class. So, so, so into my length using the constructor, I will give value L to length and then to the breadth variable, I will give the value B. So this is my constructor. You should observe that the constructor name and class name are always the same. So what is this? With the class name, I am having a function. What is it called as? It is called as constructor. So what is the use of a constructor? The constructor is used to give values or initialize the values which are inside our class. So to initialize the values or the variables len and vre inside my class, I am supplying my constructor room with the parameters l and v, where L will be copied into my len variable and V will be copied into my VRE variable. Now, I have created a class and my data part is length and breadth and I have a constructor to give value to those variables. And now I want to calculate the area of the class. How do I calculate the area of the class? For that, I am writing another function called as area, And how do I calculate the area of the room? So let me take a local variable called as A and A is equal to L into B. Aidunnara Suresh. A is equal to L into B. So how do I do it? L into L. So my variable name is length, no, not L into B. LEN into BRE. Done. So I have calculated the area. So this is the function in my class. So area is nothing but the method in my class. Method, METHOD. And length and breadth, what are length and breadth? Length and breadth are data in the class. Now let me close the class. So this is how I created a class with the name, room, and my data name is LEN and BRE, and the class name and constructor name will be the same. My class name is room, the constructor name is also room. And the constructor purpose is to initialize the variables or data inside the class or to supply values to the variables inside the class. The variables inside my class are LEN and BRE, and to give value to LEN variable, I supplied constructor with the value L, and to give value to BRE variable, I have used B parameter of the constructor. Now, let us create an object for the classroom and let us create a 2 or 3 rooms and calculate the area. So how we will do that? Till now we have learned how to create a class. Now we will learn how to create an object and how to calculate the area. So let us see it. So let me do it. So I am creating another class now, and I will try to calculate the area of our class, area of those rooms. So how do I create it? I will be taking second class, and the second class name is main room, and in that I am taking a function void main public static void main string args. So this is any command line arguments we pass to our program, they will be transferred into this args array. Basically, the arguments which we supply at the command line will be transmitted in the form of string, not as integers as floats, into the args array. So that also we will see in one video about command line arguments. So for in this video, we are seeing about classes objects, and then we will see what is meant by information hiding, encapsulation, those we will cover. So public static void main, and let us create an object. How do you create an object? So room, first object is R1 is equal to new room. So I have created one room and the class name is room and object name here is R1. So R1 is object of which class? Room class. So for that, let me give the values to be supplied. Length I am supplying with value 5 and breadth I am initializing with value 10. Now, how do you call the area method of the room class? Object name, that is nothing but R1, and the function name, that is nothing but area. In this way, you are calling the function in the class. So how do you call it? It is nothing but object name dot method name. In this way, you can call the function in a class with the name of the object in the class. Now, this is nothing but object creating. How do you create an object? How do you create an object? To create an object, let me write down at the bottom. You will use class name followed by object name is equal to new. Again, you will write class name, and in the brackets, if you use a constructor, you should use values. You should supply it with values for the constructor. So let me write values for constructor. Values for constructor, right? Constructor, values for constructor. So In this way, you will call it as R1 dot area. So object name and then method name. Now, how do we create another object? Similarly, how you have done in above, in the same way, you can create another object. Let my class name is room only, second time also. But second time an object name is R2. Room R2 is equal to new room. And let me supply it with values. This time, let me supply it with 20 and 30. Length I am supplying with 20 and breadth I am supplying with 30. Then how do you calculate the area? R2 dot area. In this way, you calculate the area of the room. Object name followed by method name. So, what is the output you will be getting for this one? So, for this one, you will get output. So, in order to get the output, so we should include one line in the room class, which I have forgotten. So, let me add it now, no problem. So we have to print the area. So how do you print the area? Let me add that line over here, no problem. Here we should add the line system dot out dot print ln area. In this line, you add on over here system dot out dot println area. Then automatically you will get the output. What output you will get? So I will get the area of the two rooms, R1 and R2, which we have created. So first I will get area as, area is nothing but 5 into 10. 50 I will be getting this as the output. So let me keep the heading output. So output first I will be getting 10 into 5, nothing but 50. And then 20 into 30, I will be getting it as 600. So this will be the output. So this is about how do we create a class and how do we create objects for the class. And if there are any methods in the class, how do we call them? Next. So I need to explain to you here about one more definition. What is meant by that definition is nothing but, let me write it down here. Information hiding. What is information hiding? So information hiding means the data which is inside the class, we can hide the data from the outside classes. So only the data and functions which are in our class can see and use the data in our class. Outside classes cannot see the data in our class. How can we achieve that, madam? So here before int length and breadth, if you place the word keyword private. So what is that word? The keyword is before length and breadth. What you should place? You should place 1 minute. You should place the keyword private. So how do we do that, madam? So instead of saying simply int length and breadth, you should say it as private int length and breadth. If you say that, then the length and breadth given in our classroom, it can be used only in our classroom, and it cannot be used in the classes that are outside our room class. So if you declare them as private int length and breadth, then they should be used. The length and breadth should be used only in our classroom. Should be used only in our classroom, and they cannot be used in outside classes or outside our class. outside, sorry. outside our class. So this is called as information hiding. So what is information hiding? Now let us write down the definition of information hiding. Let us write down the definition. So information hiding means hiding data in a class from other classes. From other classes is called as information hiding. So the data in a class which is declared as private can be used only in that class. It cannot be used in the other classes. This is called as information hiding. Due to information hiding, we can give security to the data in our class and we can prevent our data from unauthorized access. So no one who is, if we want anyone not to use our data in the class, simply declare it as private. Then no one other than the members of your class can use the private data in your class. So, no madam, or whatever data is there in my class, anyone can use. So no need to hide it. Then don't say private int length breadth. You say it as public int length and breadth. If you say public int length and breadth, then not only our class, not only in our class, they can be used, they can be used in, they can be used in outside classes also. Not only in our class, they can be used in outside classes also. In this way, if we want, we can secure our data if it is confidential, and if the data is not confidential, if anyone can use it, then we can liberally declare them as public instead of private. So information hiding is achieved in Java, wherein we can secure our data without leaking, releasing, showing, or allowing other classes to use our data. Right. Then let us see one more definition over here. So what is the definition which we are seeing now? So let me explain to you about encapsulation. What is meant by encapsulation? See, this encapsulation is very much closely related to the definition of the class. So what is meant by encapsulation? Wrapping up of data and methods, into single unit. Single unit. What is it? Class is called as encapsulation. Encapsulation. So in our example, what is the data length and breadth? What are our functions? We have one constructor room, which is a special function. And then another method is nothing but area. So this data length, breadth, and the function area, all of them we binded with a single name. What is that name? That name is nothing but our class name. What is it? It is nothing but room. So binding up of data and functions, in binding of data and functions into single unit is called as encapsulation. In our example, we have binded up our data and functions into single class. What is this class name? Room. So this is called as an encapsulation. Hope all of you followed what is meant by encapsulation, what is meant by information hiding, what is meant by class, and what is meant by an object, and what are private members of the class, and what are public members of the class. Now, let me explain to you one more definition, inheritance. So what is meant by inheritance? Let me explain to you. So let me take up a fresh thing and explain to you about inheritance. Let me do it. So let me erase some part of the screen and then we will do that one. Let me select this part. We don't need this part. So let me erase this part. So let me take H. So what is meant by, I'm explaining to you about inheritance. Inheritance means we will have two classes. One is parent class and another is child class. The child class can use all the data and methods of the parent class. That is called as inheritance. It means all the properties of the base class will be inherited by child class. That is called as inheritance. So all properties of base class or base class means or parent class can be used by child class. Child class is also called as derived class. This is called as inheritance. So what are the uses of inheritance? There are many uses of inheritance. Whatever there is in the parent class, it is being used by the child. So time will be saved. Time will be saved because whatever there is in parent, it can be freely used by the child without again writing. Time will be saved. Cost will be reduced. Then program length will be reduced. Program length will be reduced. Time will be saved. Cost will be saved. Program length will be reduced. All these are nothing but advantages of inheritance. So duplication of code can be avoided. Duplication of code can be avoided. Now let me give you one example for inheritance so that you can understand it in a better way. Okay. So let me do it. I am having a class and the class name is rectangle. In the rectangle class, I am having length and breadth data. And I have a constructor. If you want, you can have a constructor. If you no need, you can leave off. Then you can have a function with the name area. Okay. Method with the name area. I have some code in it, dash, dash, dash. And then I am closing the class. Now, I am having one more class. The class name is cuboid. And this cuboid class, it is child of rectangle class. So what I can do is, you write class, a class name is cuboid, and this cuboid class is child of rectangle class. So how can we make a class a child of cuboid rectangle class as parent of cuboid class? Simply write extends rectangle. So it means rectangle class is nothing but parent of cuboid class. Now Since cuboid class is child of rectangle class, the length, breadth data and the area method of rectangle class will automatically come into cuboid class. So, no need of again writing length, breadth. So, what a cuboid has in excess is, it is nothing but height. Let me take it down. And a cuboid in excess to area function, the cuboid is a 3D figure wherein it will have volume. So let me write a function for volume. And in this volume function, I will have some code to find out the volume. Like say volume is equal to LEN into BRE into LEN into BRE into height. BRE into height. Right. Right. Now, I want to create an object for cuboid class, and the cuboid has one data height and another method volume. But since rectangle class is parent of cuboid class, the cuboid class automatically can use length, breadth, and it is having height. So the total amount of data in cuboid is three variables: length, breadth, height, and the cuboid function, it has volume function, but it gets one more function from its parents. It is nothing but area. So if we create objects for cuboid function, if we take main class and create objects, see, so this is nothing but class, main class. Then you write public static void main. Then you write string args. Now you create object for cuboid C is equal to new cuboid. Let me supply with some parameters 2, 5, and then 10, length, breadth, and height. Now, if you can use C dot area function and you can use C dot volume function also. Cuboid's own function is volume, and from its parent, it has got area function. So both of them it can use. So what we have learned over here is what we learned, rectangle class has two variables, length and breadth, and one method area. And the cuboid class is nothing but it is child class of rectangle class. So the cuboid class on its own, it will use height, and from its parent, it will automatically get length, and it will automatically get breadth. So those we have used here. So again, in cuboid function, we have used both area function and volume function. How have you used it? Because the volume function is the own function of cuboid that I can use, and the area function is inherited by or got freely by cuboid class from its parent rectangle class. That also I can use. So I have used some data and methods of my own, I being cuboid class, and some data and methods I have used which I have got from my parent. In this way, the child class can use the data and methods in the parent class. And the advantage of this is uh, time will be reduced in developing the program. Automatically cost will be reduced. Our program length will be reduced. It means we are saving memory, and duplication of code will be avoided. So in this video, we have learned about class, object, and then a few OOPS concepts in Java like encapsulation, information hiding, and then about inheritance. So in next video, let us see about some more concepts in Java. Okay. So let us stop for today.